This conference will now be recorded.
I'm going to call to order the Town of Ocean Ridge Special Magistrate Code Enforcement hearing. Today is April 1st. Verizon says it's 10 a.m. so we can get started. My name is Amity Barnard. I'll be the Special Magistrate for today's hearing. So if you're here for a code enforcement case, you're in the right place. First thing I'm going to do is swear anybody in who's here to testify on any items that are on today's agenda, including staff and any witnesses. If you could stand if you're able and raise your right hands for me, I'm going to swear you all in at the same time. Perfect. Do you all swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, yes.
Thank you. You may be seated. A little bit about process. It looks like, I think all the cases on today's agenda are violation hearings. So the order of proceedings, when you hear your case called, the town typically calls the cases as they appear on the agenda. I'll defer to them in terms of order. But once you hear your case called, the town will put on its case first. They'll show me any documents they have, call any witnesses that they intend to call, give me any verbal testimony that they would like me to consider, and when they're finished, you'll come to the podium that's right here in front of me. Then it'll be your turn to give me any evidence you have, cross-examine any witnesses that the town has called, put on any documents that you have that you wish for me to look at. At the end of that, I'll make a final ruling, and you'll get an order that reflects that ruling in the mail. So with that said, keep in mind that all of your testimony given today is given under oath, and I'll turn it to the town to call its first case.
Thank you, Your Honor. Christy Gunn on behalf of the Town of Ocean Ridge. Your Honor, since we only have a few respondents, I'm just gonna call the folks that are present so we can get through
That's
them
totally
first.
fine. Yep, thank you.
I think that the first respondent who was here was for case number 8, Brett Orlov. This is a violation of the town's code 6228, dogs on the beach. This is the third offense. And I believe we have the officer who issued the citation present to testify for the town.
What officer?
Officer Pylon. And we have the town clerk who can testify as to service. Oh, I'm sorry, this one was served, was signed by the violator who received the notice at the same time for the hearing as the citation.
Okay, so no additional service?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good morning, sir. Your name?
Good morning, Officer Pylon. What date was it, Kelly? 7th.
February 28th.
Yeah, I can't hardly see it, sorry.
February 28th.
Yes, so on February 28th at 7:30, or is it 7:21 a.m., while conducting routine patrol, I observed an individual with a dog on the beach around the 5,000 block. Yeah, Old Ocean, right off Old Ocean and the crossover there. We have a town ordinance against dogs on the beach. Made contact with the individual and issued a citation. Upon making contact with him, our dispatch notified me that he'd been previously warned, I think 3 or 4 times. So he was issued a citation for a third or subsequent offense.
Okay, I'm just getting to the documents here.
Do you have the picture?
This is all I have. It's all was given to me.
So they don't give you everything? Okay.
Okay. And you presented the citation to the respondent, and that's her signature on there? Is that
I did, and he did sign
correct?
for it.
Okay, what is the town seeking in this case?
Your Honor, for the third offense, it's $100. The court costs in this case are $164 even. So since it was brought into compliance with removal from the dog from the beach, we're just seeking the citation amount plus the court costs.
All right, and are you seeking entry of your documents into the record?
Yes, thank you.
All right, anything further, officer? Okay, Mr. Orlov?
Good morning.
Good morning. State your name for me.
Brett Orlow.
Thank you. We've heard what the town has said. Let's, I guess, start with the easy part. You've seen the documents that are on the screen on both sides of me. That include the citation, as well as the administrative costs for today's hearing. Do you have any objection to those documents being entered?
No, I wasn't aware of the administrative cost.
Okay.
No objection.
All right, with that, just so the record's clear, in 2025-017, I will admit the town's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, hi. So I live at 5003 Old Ocean,
Okay.
and I was on the beach behind my house,
Mm-hmm.
and with my dog, as I'm allowed under section 6228, subsection B. And I was talking that morning with a gentleman who had walked down the beach. I think he got a ticket too. And he stopped. We were just chatting there, and we saw Officer Pelham come out on the beach. So we walked over there, and he gave us a citation. My response was, I'm on my beach. It's my private property. And, that's all I said. He said, well, no dogs on the beach. So I went home, and I got the ticket. And I looked at it, it said third offense. It was the first time I've received a ticket. So it's probably just the first offense. And I looked at the statute because I was curious. I've lived there for a little over 4 years, and I'm out there all the time with my dog, and it is private property. So I looked at the statute 6228. A says no dogs on the beach, public portions of the beach, but there's a subsection B that says private beaches, and it says on portions of any beach within the town that are private property, animals may only be on the beach with the consent of the owner or occupant of the private property, and I am the owner. Animals shall be at all times within the boundaries of private property under control of the owner or occupant of the property shall ensure any offal, feces, or excretion of the animals removed, and of course I always do that to my property. I did bring, so then I looked at my legal description because I was like, well, maybe it's not, I wasn't certain how far it goes, and the legal description, and I mean, this is in the public record, but I can give it to you, but it basically, the property line, in the legal description, it says it runs, and I can read the whole thing into the record, I can just hand it to you.
Yeah, hand it to
But it
the
goes to
attorney first.
Yeah, it goes all the way to the Atlantic Ocean in the legal. That's a blow up of the actual legal description, and then it goes on the survey. Basically, it goes, the property line goes eastward to the Atlantic Ocean, south along the Atlantic Ocean, back to a point in the road. So, it's a big square from the street to the ocean, and I was on the property. So I don't think I was in violation, and certainly, so I think it should be dismissed.
Okay, and let me ask you just a couple of questions.
Yeah.
You said you've never been issued a citation for this
I have
in the
not.
past,
I have not received the citation. Police officers have rolled up on the beach.
and they've given you verbal warnings,
Yeah.
but
I've
no
talked to them.
actual citation has been
Never
issued.
got a citation. But I say, hey, and I'll always leash them up and take them off. But I said, it's my property. I just never bothered to look at the actual law. But
Okay.
now that I have, I actually feel more comfortable about being on my beach with my dog.
Okay. And is that's from
Yeah,
the
that's-
property appraiser, that's your house?
That is the house, yes.
Okay. Okay. And I think the town attorney, is still looking at those documents, is that correct?
Yes.
Just let me know when you're finished.
I know it's hard to see. I have it on my iPad if you want to blow it up to look more closely, but that was the best I could do with my phone. Yes.
This has a different PCN at the bottom than your partial control number.
Oh, what does? I'm sorry?
Is this,
So the blown up part of, the legal description is from the recorded condominium documents. It's really hard to read on the actual survey, but I can read it. It says, that's the legal.
well, I guess the question is for Officer Pylon. Officer Pylon, as you can see from the screen, it's showing from property appraiser, what property appraiser believes to be the property boundaries. Did you ever observe, Mr. Orloff with his dog outside that area?
So looking at this, I came in off of the crossover that's just north of that. I'll be honest, seeing that, it's hard for me to tell you whether he would have been, if he was in his property, it was at the edge. So I can't say that for sure he was further south or north. So he could have been on his private property there. I'm not sure, based on seeing that.
Okay. And let me ask the town attorney,
I do have a video. It's not, I could get it for you. I do have a video that would depict exactly where he was when I walked out to him. That would make it more clear. If you want me to get that, I can, but just off this picture alone,
so let me ask the town attorney, so 6228B, that Mr. Orloff has read into the record that I'm looking at now on Muni Code, that, am I correct in understanding that means if he's within that blue boundary, and I understand property appraisers may not be exactly correct, but
Right,
your ordinance is that if he's within that property boundary, he's allowed to be there with his dog? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
so I'm just trying to, I think, the hard problem I'm having with this legal description, I don't have any way to like contest it. I think the legal description is from the condo docs, but then perhaps the parcel was redone with a plat. So the legal isn't the same from the condo docs as it appears currently in your deed and on, but I don't have any way of showing that his property line doesn't go all the way to the water. I mean, if Officer Pylon's testimony is he's not sure, then Your Honor, I think we need to dismiss the citation.
And Mr. Orloff, your testimony is you were within what you believe to be your property boundary that's shown here. Is that
Yes.
accurate? You were on the dry sand,
Yes.
essentially you weren't down by the water line?
Yes.
Okay. Approximately how far from the water were you?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
My
because I
dog,
think-
my dog doesn't go in the water, so he's afraid of the water, so he's never in the water.
Okay.
Right, because I think that ultimately could be an issue is if you go down to the wet sand area, technically that's the public property area. Even though that says it goes all the way to the Atlantic, there's the public trust doctrine, so that technically is part of public property. If your dog's afraid of the water, then it's not an issue.
I could pull up the body cam if you want.
I'm sorry?
If you wanted to see the body cam footage, I could pull it up for you if it makes it any clearer for anybody, all of us.
If you have it
I
available,
do.
readily available,
Thank you.
Yeah, I do my best to stay behind my house. It's 12-year-old dog, doesn't like to go very far. And obviously, after we saw Officer Fallon, we just walked over to where he was off of my property, so.
Yeah, that won't get you in
Then I
trouble.
was in violation.
double authenticate everything.
Code that comes through the phone says what that code is. Didn't say what unit it is. Maybe it's just a separate address, each unit has something.
And so I guess while we're waiting for Officer Byland to get that going, did you understand what she was saying about the area between the wet and the dry sand, basically?
Yeah, generally.
So when you're out there, keep on the dry sand, don't,
Oh, yes,
keep
ma'am.
away from the water. The customary use doctrine is relatively complicated, but it essentially amounts to the area that is the maximum mean high water line, all the way back down to the low water line. Where that exactly is very difficult to tell, so for your own conservative approach, I would stay closer to the west to your property with your
Oh, I am.
going forward.
What's that?
Fortunately, there's been a lot of beach this year.
Yeah,
Sometimes the water line is right at the edge of my house.
and that's why the customary use doctrine is difficult, because that line is always moving,
Yeah.
depending on how much shoreline is there, but. We getting closer?
Yeah, it's just, it sent me like 8 verification codes. What's this guy?
That's awesome.
What's the name of this?
That's.
I can find it.
Very exciting.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, it's up here. I forgot here. Give me a second.
I got
Let me
it.
get on this side.
Grab it here like this.
Use these.
Yeah, you do it.
Is that gonna pop up on the screens once you
It
get
will
it?
be, yeah, once we get moved over here.
Suspense is killing me.
I'm sorry.
Never a dull day, code enforcement.
Exactly.
It is 67. Okay. Got it.
Stuff like that's all right now.
This is the one.
Just scoot it over.
The whole thing?
Just that tab, yeah, scoot it, there we go.
So this is the exit, and this is them down by the water.
Yes.
Gentlemen, man, where were you?
You don't need the audio, do you?
Yeah, I mean, you can see my house there. It's-
I'll be out with dog. A mountain dog and white dog.
to continue watching?
No, I think that's good.
Okay.
Do you have a lab that doesn't like to go in the water?
He's not a lab. He's,
Oh, good.
he's part, Gordon's,
Okay.
the white dog.
I don't think one of those exists, a lab that doesn't want to go in the
Right,
water.
that's why I was
Yeah.
like, first when I saw it, I was like, wait, what?
It's a good thing he doesn't go in because it doesn't get a little messy.
So I guess the question is, where's the line? I think is the question for this morning's hearing. That video, unfortunately, if that video wasn't there, you were about to get out of here, but you were pretty close to the water in that video.
I don't think so. I don't go in the water. We were in the sand. It was 7 o'clock in the morning. Behind my house.
What's the town's position as to where the officer was relative, or where the respondent was relative to the public versus private portion of the beach?
Well, Your Honor, as we discussed with the public trust doctrine, it's very hard to figure that out with the mean high water line and how that, alternates. It is a close call. Obviously, it's his first offense because we haven't cited him before. Warnings have been given. It's his first offense. So we would only seek the violation amount for the first offense, which I believe is $25, not $100. But Your Honor, our standard is preponderance of the evidence, and I just don't know that we have that, given where truly this property line is, where the public trust doctrine begins on the beach. And as long as he's staying within the confines of his private property under the code, we have to allow him to have his dog on the beach.
I'm happy to hear you say that, because that's where I was inclined to fall. So what I'm gonna do today, sir, is I'm gonna dismiss this case, but I don't forget faces. So if I see you again, I'll tell you that based on that video, I don't think the town has proven their case this morning. That doesn't mean that you weren't in violation based on what I saw in the video there, but they haven't proved to me whether or not you were definitively within or inside or outside of your property boundaries. So I'm gonna dismiss the case for today. I would remind you sincerely, you need to be further away from the water line than that. It's gonna be their burden to prove going forward if you're ever in violation again, but I don't think that they've met their burden for this morning's hearing, so take it as a warning from me, that if I see you again and we're at the same place and there's some ambiguity about where you are, I may not be so inclined to dismiss going forward. That said, assuming the town can prove its case. So for today's hearing, in case 2025-017, I'm going to dismiss the matter based on the lack of evidence confirming that respondent was in fact in the public portion of the beach. So you're off the hook for today, but take it as a warning, okay? If you want these documents back, you can have those going with you, okay?
Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you. Your Honor, I think we have one more respondent. Sir, what case are you here for?
Me?
Yeah.
My name's Peter Goldstein. For
Okay.
a traffic citation.
Number 6, it looks like.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. So this is case number 2025-009. The respondent is Peter Goldstein. This is a no parking as posted citation.
And I presume you have an officer to testify in this one?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I was just looking at the citation to see the officer pylon.
No, you- golf cart? Yes. Yep. Okay. Good morning, Officer Pylon again. On February the 2nd, around 3:27 p.m. while conducting parking enforcement of the 6620 area. It's the beach parking lot at Hammock Park. I observed a low-speed vehicle or golf cart parked illegally against a wall in the grass near a no parking sign, but not a spot designated for parking of any vehicles. I issued a citation to the vehicle for being in violation.
Bear with me, I'm just trying to get to the right page here. 009 is what we're after. Here we go. Okay, here we go. And was anybody with the vehicle?
No, I believe this golf cart has parked there numerous times. I think I've cited it more than once. I think what they're doing is, if you look at the signage on the wall where it says no parking, there's an arrow to the facing this way and an arrow facing that way. And there's a small gap in between where vehicles park and then that sign. So they're taking the sign's arrows saying no parking beyond this sign and that sign, as they can park anywhere. We also have a town ordinance that says they can't park any vehicle in a space that's not designated for a vehicle. So I wrote them under the parking against this posting because they parked again in between the grass and the sign and a vehicle. So they're kind of, and again, we enforce that parking lot mainly because it gets so crazy during beach days that people will start making their own parking. It gets kind of,
All right, so that's not a striped space there, that's just.
it is not a parking space, no.
Okay. All right, what is the town seeking in this case?
Your Honor, this is a $40 traffic parking ticket with court costs of $173.68.
And it looks like there's some service documents in here, Ms. Avery, are you gonna testify to those?
Yes, I sent him a notice of hearing on February 24th for the April hearing,
And how did you send that?
certified.
Okay, did you get it back, signed green card or no?
Did not. A lot of times I don't get those.
Okay. All right, who's here for that one? Is that you, sir?
Yeah.
Come to the podium for me. What's your name?
Peter Goldstein.
Thank you. All right, let's start with the easy part. So you've heard from the town, and you can see the documents that have been scrolling on both sides of the screen. Do you have any objection to those documents being entered into the record of a citation that was issued, the notice of hearing, and then a cost recovery sheet for administrative costs?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
Okay. All right, what's your side of the story?
It's actually quite what the officer had said. I didn't believe I was parking illegally. There's a spot where there is a sign that says no parking this side. And so it was not a striped spot, but I didn't realize that it was illegal.
Okay.
So it's not clear. And I also just think for the future, for others, that if it was made crystal clear, then I think that would be helpful, not just for my case, but for people in the future.
Okay.
And so with that, I now know that I'm not supposed to park there. It's not the only time I had gotten a ticket, and one I had paid, and then this one I wanted to actually come and talk with you, just so that it, not just for me, but for others.
Okay. So you've been cited for the same
I have,
violation of the
and
same?
I wanted to fight. It's
area.
actually not, it wasn't me using it, it was my partner.
Okay.
And so that one I paid, this one I wanted to come and talk with you about, because there was a second citation that I don't know if it's appropriate for here, but it was by the same officer regarding registration on a vehicle, which had the wrong tag, or the wrong sticker on the registration. So I was asked,
So let me have you pause there, because I don't believe he doesn't have any other cases on today's agenda, correct?
That's a UTC for the county court.
Okay, so that's a separate matter that is not before me this morning, so, I probably don't even have jurisdiction over that one, so that one, let's keep our testimony today limited to
fine.
just this citation. Yeah, I'm not aware of that other one, and they don't have it on the agenda, so I can't hear anything about that one today.
Okay,
And do you understand the officer's point about the code also saying that you can't park in spaces that are not designated parking spaces?
I understand it, I didn't know that.
You didn't know it
I
at the
did not
time.
know it.
Okay,
Right.
okay. And let me ask the town attorney, is the fine amounts are not iterative on this one? It's just a $40 fine if not paid? It doesn't matter what offense it is?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, I think it does matter what offense it is, but I think this is the first parking, because I think it's others.
Well, he just testified that he's been cited for this exact thing before, but.
There was one other time, I have it with me. And again, I was not aware, but I didn't want to waste the court's time. I paid the other one, but after a second time, I wanted to come and understand it. And I still don't want to waste the court's time with this. I don't think it's that critical of an issue.
Okay. And I guess I'm limited to what the citation says,
Yeah.
which is a fine of $30, and then if not paid within the 10 days, $40. So, you may be getting a little cheaper of a fine just because they may have written the wrong amount on the citation, but, you understand where you can and cannot park now in that parking lot?
Now it is crystal clear.
Okay.
It was
And
far from.
Yes, and hopefully the town has heard you as it relates to those signs, and perhaps putting those signs a little bit closer together so that his interpretation doesn't perpetuate. But that said, the evidence that I have before me is enough to find you in violation, to confirm the violation that was issued based on the citation that you received. So, anything else you'd like me to consider today?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything else from the town? All right, in case 2025-009, entering the town's evidentiary case files, composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the testimony of the officer as well as the respondent, that the respondent's in violation of section 54-2 for the parking that's noted in the citation against town code. I'll affirm the $40 ticket amount since the $30 was not paid within the 10 days given on the citation. And because I found the respondent in violation, I'll assess the administrative costs for today's hearing, the amount of $173.68. So now that you know you can't park there, I presume you're not gonna do it any further. Thanks for coming this morning, okay? Best of luck to you.
Thank you, Sonia.
Where do I go to say?
Right at the front one.
Sir, are you here for a case?
Yes.
No, Mr. Brown. Sir, in the back. Are you a respondent? Do you have a case here today?
Yes,
Oh, okay. What's your,
two coconut.
okay. Oh, that's case number 13. All right, Your Honor, we'll go ahead with case number 13 on today's agenda. This is case number 2025-014. The respondent listed on the agenda is Craig and Lori Herkert, as I believe trustees. The property address is 2 Coconut Lane within the town of Ocean Ridge. The citation is for work without permits, violation of 6751. I believe they're repairing the driveway without a permit. And we have the town's clerk who can testify to service and any other issues. And I believe our code enforcement officer, Steve Sheehan, can address the violation.
So our code enforcement went out doing a normal routine and found that these property was doing work in the driveway. He went and spoke with them. And they said, they were doing the work. So he noticed it in our system, and I issued the notice of violation for them to come get the permit for the work that they had been doing.
And when did you do that?
That was on March 11th.
And can you testify as it relates to service, did you send it certified mail? Did you post?
It did, actually, I didn't know why I sent that, because I did not send it certified because it was hand delivered. And I have this signed, oh gosh, I put the wrong thing there. I do have it here, let me show you real quick.
And did you hand delivered it or the code officer?
Code officer.
Okay, perfect.
Code officer.
So I'll have him testify to that once he is. Is that you, sir?
Yes.
Do you want to come over here to this seat? I don't know if that microphone is working, maybe just to the podium then.
Okay.
Your name, sir?
Steve Shagan,
And your position with the town? You're the
code enforcement.
code enforcement, very good, thank you. All right, so Ms. Avery is indicating that you hand delivered the notice of violation?
That's correct.
Okay. To the property owner?
Correct.
Okay. And there's an affidavit of service in the file that it looks like you completed?
Yes, I think, I'm trying to find work, but it looks like I put it in my wrong file, so I'm trying to look for it and see which one's in. I did scan it though.
Okay. Okay, I guess is it Shagan?
Shagan.
Shagan, okay. Go ahead and explain to me, I can see that picture, I'm not sure quite what I'm looking at, but they're just replacing part of the driveway or?
When I rolled up on that day, I saw the mini excavator there. They had some pavers ripped up. It's just, that's the sidewalk that's sitting underneath the bucket, which is part of the right of way of the town. So all that work was being done. So I just asked, I got out of the car, asked if there's a permit, what they're doing. They said they have no permit. They were repairing with the excavator. They had a full crew there. And they weren't registered as registered contractors in the town.
Okay. And you spoke with I presume there were workmen on site, is that who you spoke to?
Correct.
Okay, correct. Okay. All right, anything further you'd like me to hear?
No.
Okay. All right, don't go too far. I'll have you step away from the podium and I'll have the respondent approach. Morning, sir, how are you?
Morning.
Your name for the record?
Adam
Last name?
Conway.
And your relation to the property?
I was the landscaper on the job.
You're the one got in trouble then.
I'm the one that got in trouble. Yeah. So fun.
And do the property owners know you're here today?
Yeah, I believe so. I was surprised they weren't here.
You told them you were coming to the
Yeah.
hearing? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, what, do you know what was going on?
Yeah, I do. So in speaking with Lori and Craig, prior to this, we kind of petitioned this back in January. They were suffering from something we were unaware of as well. I'm still new to Florida. I've been here a year. That king tide was causing issues to their driveway. So we proposed a couple options during that initial meeting, and during that meeting, 3 of the options were kicked out because they advised us that a permit would be needed because it was a permittable thing.
And 3, when you say kicked out, you mean by the property owners?
By the owners,
Okay.
yeah. Yes, we were originally going to put, some kind of contraption underneath it called a snorkel to push the water away, because what was happening is the water rising and lowering was causing the porcelain tiles to just shift. Everything was just moving. So on that day, what we did, just to clarify, and I apologize if this was needed to be permitted, we just didn't know. But what we did was we removed the porcelain pavers, which were just not really even attached at this point, they were just loose. And we set them to the side. we had called 811 prior to come out and inspect just to make sure that there were no power, no water, gas lines, anything like that in the way. We dug down initially just to see what was going on with this, because this is something that we have never dealt with king tide before in most of the properties. So we looked at the property. As soon as we started digging, we realized that it was done improperly from the start.
And you need the installation of the paver?
Correct. The installation was incorrect in the first place. There was only a 2-inch rock base. We do enough of these driveways to know that it needs to be a minimum of 4 inches. There was 2 inches of base underneath, 2 inches of rock base. Then they put base on top, and then they put the pavers down. So what we had proposed originally was to dig down 12 to 18 inches to just put a base layer of rock so that the water could filter away from the driveway. We still don't know if it's going to work properly, but that is our hope. So in that, we just dug down, we added the rock back in, we put the base back on, we had the pavers back in within 5 to 6 hours. Total driveway was back installed. We didn't make any alterations to the driveway in regards to size, anything like that. We just changed the substrate. And I get it. If it's an offense, I totally understand.
I think a good rule of thumb is anytime you're calling 811, you need a permit.
No, we don't usually.
Anytime you have anything in
I
a
call
bucket on it, you
call
need a
811
permit.
for anything. If we're digging a plant up and transplanting it, but plants don't really need permits. So we move those all the time. Just to be safe.
In the town, they might.
Some do, but a lot of the times,
My advice is anytime in Ocean Ridge, call and ask.
I get you. Now, unfortunately, this was one of those situations where the homeowner kind of told us that this one, the other two options, they were like, no, that's gonna need a permit. So we went with this option just because they said no permit necessary. If we needed to apply for a permit at that time, we would have done it if we felt that it was necessary from the homeowner advising us as well. We have no issues pulling permits. We deal with Lighthouse Point. Lighthouse Point is the worst for permits. So trust me, we know.
All right, let me ask the town, what's the town seeking today?
Your Honor, I don't believe we have any information if there's any repeat violations here, and the property owner has no code compliance. I guess I would defer to prior history, defer to the town clerk in terms of how long it would take to apply and obtain a permit.
Once they get registered and submit a building permit with everything that's required, it shouldn't take, I would say, no more than a week and a half.
Okay. So, Your Honor, I would recommend 30 days, and if they don't have it within 30 days, fine of $250 a day thereafter.
All right, and I assume you have administrative costs in here?
Yes, of $173.64.
Actually, my mistake, I had accidentally started to certify and realized that we had hand delivered it, so I need to take that $9.64 off.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
I'm gonna leave that one to you, Madam Clerk.
I'm getting a calculator because my mind's not working right now.
So I believe that takes it to $164 even.
That works, yes.
I'm happy to go with that number. All right, any objection to the documents that you've seen on the screen being entered into the record? Okay. So you definitely need to get a permit for this. What the town is interested in is, your testimony is that you didn't do anything else in terms of expanding the driveway, but the town doesn't know that until you pull the permit and do the inspections and verify that you are doing exactly what you said you're doing. So 30 days should be more than enough time for you to get the permit. The one thing, hopefully it doesn't come to they have to do some kind of inspection under it, because that's the benefit of getting the permit before you do the work.
Good luck. No.
Yeah.
Dig it up.
You don't want to have to dig up what you've already done, so that's the problem with doing this kind of backwards, but.
Yeah.
That said, I'll give you the 30 days to get the permit.
Okay.
There shouldn't be any issue. The town is very quick with processing those.
Gotcha.
Um,
Can I ask one question, follow
Go
up to
ahead.
this? Does this require a general contractor in this? Because we run under a landscape business license, not a general contractor license.
I unfortunately don't know that right offhand. I'd have to ask the building official.
Okay.
Yeah, I can get back to you on that.
Okay. I mean, we can get a general contractor sign off on it. It just incurs a lot of fees for us to do so. That's the issue. I have no problem paying for a permit and getting that squared away, as long as we can just avoid that.
and you may be able, I don't know if the property's homesteaded or not, but you may be able to do a owner builder.
Oh,
if it is homesteaded.
okay, perfect.
Don't
Hey,
hold me to that going forward.
listen,
It's
we're gonna
just a
try.
suggestion.
We're gonna try.
It looked like it is homesteaded.
Yeah, so you may be able to do that to get around the contractor.
No, we have no problem paying a fee. It's just, it was the whole process of, one, they didn't even tell us that they got that hand delivered until the day we contacted you. So we had no clue.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, anything else you'd like me to hear, sir?
Nope, that's it.
All right, anything else from the town?
No.
All right, in case 2025-014, I'll enter the town's evidentiary case files, composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents and the testimony of hand delivery that the town had good service for this morning's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file and the testimony of town staff that the respondent's in violation of section 6751 and 105.1 of the building code, Florida Building Code, for the work that was done without a permit. I'll require the respondent to comply within 30 days, or a $250 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violation continues. So make sure you have the permit not just applied for, but issued within the 30 days.
Gotcha.
If there's any, cataclysmic problem that you have, make sure you communicate with the town so that they're aware of what's happening. Just so you know, you don't come back to a subsequent hearing. So on the 31st day, a $250 a day fine will start running if you don't have the permit issued. So be diligent about that just so you get it. And because I have found the property owners in violation, I do have to award the town its administrative costs in the amount of $164.
Okay.
Those are payable within 30 days.
Okay.
So again, keep in touch with the town if there's any issues, but there shouldn't be, given the nature of the work
Do
done.
I pay for that?
Either the property owner, it's administrative costs, so whoever pays, I don't know if you can pay today or if the town wants you to wait for the order that's issued, but you can get with the town on that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. All right.
Okay, let me write this down so they know.
All right, we'll go back to the beginning.
Yes, Your Honor. We're gonna have to do some continuances because unfortunately on some of our certified mailings, we're not getting anything back. So on case number 2 on the agenda, that's case number 2025-004. This is a dog on the beach violation. We have not received the green card back. So we're gonna continue that to see if we can get perfect notice.
I guess procedurally for this morning's hearing, I need to find good service to even grant a continuance. Is there a way to pull up the tracking confirmation?
That's what I believe, the
Or you
town
just-
clerk tried to do, and we're finding
It's not showing any.
not showing anything.
Okay.
So we have proof of the certified mail being sent, that's on the screen, along with a copy of the citation. We just can't get any confirmation that it's actually been delivered.
Hmm. I think that's going all the way back to January. When was it sent in this case?
February 24th.
And when you go on a USPS, it doesn't say anything?
I think they don't update them.
Hmm.
Your Honor, if I could say something on this one?
Mhm.
She was served that day with the notice of a court hearing from the issuing officer. They
Okay.
actually put it on the citation, so she was actually notified that day. I think they do this secondary to that, but.
No, that's very helpful.
Did she sign off on the
She
site?
did.
Oh, she did.
Okay, so that's enough to get us going for today. So when does the town want to put this on next month's agenda then? Or you may not even need that, I guess.
Right. If she signed for the citation, I don't have that. Do we have that in the backup?
I don't have one of their signs.
We know she did.
Yeah, she has, yeah.
Where's the signed copy?
I was not given that.
This is a much bigger case because of who, all the things that took place, but.
This is the one that has the videos.
I have a video of
Um,
that sheet.
Yeah, that one I did download, but I just don't have And the sign.
So do you want to move to the next one and see if you can, is there a way you can get the signed copy?
I think you have the case number wrong. This is 5. I think you said 4. Are you guys looking at 4? 5, yeah. I thought I heard you guys.
It's most our case number 4.
Gotcha. No,
Yes.
don't listen to me. We have body cam footage also of her signing it. So it was,
So it's
she
not
was
video?
definitely served.
Oh, did you hand it to her?
Me and my partner, yes, she actually. She
Okay,
fled
there's
from us.
more. Yeah, okay.
It was a lot of fun.
So it's in one of the videos that I've given her.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
So we have a video showing her being served with it.
yes.
I did
Okay.
provide the videos.
What if we have the video that we could show the magistrate so we can
Yeah.
show perfected service?
Absolutely.
She's driving, I just don't have it on my flash drive.
Is that in the videos that you showed me on here?
Those are on those, yeah, I just don't know which one.
I can, skip
They're the
to
same case, I
part
just
of
don't
the
know
one.
which portion it is.
And for the record, the respondent is not present.
I think it's the first one. I think. Let me.
Bless you.
There are 2 videos to see. To make it clear. You just want to see the signing, right? The issuance of the citation?
Well, I think, is the town intending to enter both videos into the,
What are the 2 videos of?
The first one is the initial attempted contact when she fled from us, and then the second is us locating her and then issuing her. Right?
I think we could enter both videos, but I think the second one sounds like it's more relevant to the issue of service.
Gotcha. Do you want to watch, or do you want me to just get to the part where?
Get over here. Come on. You're about to be under arrest. Get over here. Quit running from me and hiding. You know what you're doing. Walk down. Mike, get that in the back here. Keep that. Walk out here with me. You're in trouble. Get over here. Walk. Walk straight out there. Walk straight out here. We got plenty of time to talk. Walk straight. Walk straight. Keep walking. Keep walking. Keep walking. Walk. 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 Walk out. Good one. But, hey man, come here. Let me get your ID.
I live here.
Where do you live? Where do you live? Why did you run? Why did you run?
I didn't run.
So 3 officers just didn't do it. You don't do it.
I didn't
What are you
see
doing
you.
up here? Do you live here?
I live here.
Where do you live?
I don't have to tell you.
Okay. Now, let me get your ID or you listen. I'm gonna make a start. No, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah,
No, you're not.
what did I do? I want to know what this is for.
Give me your name. Sort of hide it. He's stuck straight down, if you want to take the, oh, I don't know. This is the lady that ran from us when she saw me. I don't know if they're.
What did you want me for? I didn't run from you, I didn't see you, I didn't.
He's not. No. What are you doing here? Oh, right behind the downstairs. Oh, there you go. Ma'am, you're not leaving. You're saying whatever you want.
What, can you tell me what I did?
Yeah.
I didn't see you,
What's your name?
Linnea.
Stop crying.
How you doing?
I'm not with you. Say your name.
P-O-L-I-S-C-H.
All right, I guess go ahead and fast forward. Does this just continue on with,
It does, and we escort her out, and,
I see that goes on for 37 minutes.
yes.
So yeah, go ahead and show me where you gave her the
So-
ticket.
This is her being issued a citation now, actually. So here's her citation. I wish I could turn it up. I can't. This is her signing for it.
There's a court date, if you would like not to pay or whatever, on the court date, you just show up, you don't have to call in, you just show up, and then you'll be able to be heard by the magistrate. It's, March 4th at 10 a.m.
Okay. And then what does the other video show
It shows her, the initial infraction of her
with the dogs on the beach?
running the end.
Okay.
It's a really short one, but it's off in the distance. I'll let you see. You can just see that. So she's right here. She sees us instantly and starts,
She's sprinting northbound. She looks back at us, and now she's trying to, she has to leave all that.
Okay. And I guess just so the record is clear, the dates of those videos are
they're
the
posted.
same, they're the same date as the
Yes.
citation, but can you just get those dates on the record?
Yes. January 4th, 3:39 p.m. Is it the same? Yeah, well, they call it, yeah, we finally finished catching them and all that.
Okay. All right, so what is the town seeking in this case?
Your Honor, we're seeking the citation amount of $25 plus the court costs, of $173.68 for a total of $198.68 for a violation of dog on the beach. And we would move to enter the town's evidence, including the video, into the record.
Okay. All right, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
All right, in case 2025-004, I'll enter the town's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1, which includes not only the notice documentation for today's hearing, but the 2 videos that are marked 2025-005 BTC Dog on Beach and 2025-005 BTC Dog on Beach 2 from January 4th, 2025. That'll be composite exhibit 1 without objection. Based on the documents that are in the case file as well as the video evidence, I'll find that the town had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the videos and the testimony of the officer that the respondent was in violation of section 6228 for the dogs on the beach. I will assess a fine of $25 for the first offense for that violation, and I'll award the town its administrative costs in the amount of $173.68 for today's hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Number three, are we going to number 3?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Case number 2025-005. Respondent is Robert Kelly. I'll ask the town clerk to testify as to attempt at service.
We did notice of hearing for them. The envelopes came back, unable to forward. So, not sure where we want to go with that one now. They were sent out February 24th and came back.
Came back undeliverable?
Correct.
Okay. And the copy of the citation that's in here is unsigned. Is that correct?
That's what I've got, yeah.
I guess was the citation left on a vehicle?
I believe that's mine, Your Honor. Officer Powers.
Yes.
To the best of my knowledge.
Come up here just so the video or the recording thing picks you up, sir. And give me your name for the record.
Officer Powers.
Okay, go ahead.
To the best of my knowledge, the ticket was left on the vehicle.
Okay.
It's definitely my citation that I issued. But to be honest, I don't recall anything further than that. Obviously, if there was someone there, I would have got it signed, but.
Okay. What is the town seeking in this one?
Your Honor, we would ask just for a continuance to see if we can find another address. If we can't, then we're gonna have to end up dismissing it. I believe we use the registration information to send these tickets. And we can-
From the driver's license? Okay.
Which is sort of odd because you would think that would be up to date, but
Okay. Okay. And Miss Avery, this is the same, this one you can't even, because it came back unreturned, right? It came back with the yellow sticker on it, is that?
correct.
Okay. All right, I'll withhold doing anything other than resetting the matter to the, is it next month's hearing?
Okay.
What is that? Is that? What's the date of that hearing?
May 6th.
Nice. Good grief, we're already in May. All right, anything further from the town? Nothing further on this one?
No.
All right, in case 2025-005, I'm not gonna enter anything into the record today. I'll deal with all of that at the next hearing, depending on the results of the service issue. I'll just reset this. I'll issue an order resetting the violation hearing for May 6, 2025. And I'll ask that you send that certified like you normally do, just and then attempt to get as much service as possible. Okay.
Your Honor, may I be dismissed?
I will let the town do that, but if you don't have anything further, that's fine by me.
Yeah, I don't have any.
No.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
All right, Your Honor, I think the next two are of the same nature. They're both parking citations. And case number 2025-007, the respondent is David DeBlise. I believe the town clerk can speak to the attempt at service on this one.
All right, I sent out the notice of hearing, and let's see here.
What day did you do that?
Should have been all on the same day, the February 25th. And, oh, there it is. 24th, sorry, February 24th. And that one came back also undeliverable. That officer, Pylon.
All right, go ahead, sir. Or I guess, is the town seeking to continue into this one, or are you seeking to proceed?
Yeah, we would ask that this will be reset, see if we can find another address to serve, get good service with.
I was just gonna add that I do recall it was placed on the vehicle. So,
Yeah, these citation, these are tricky sometimes. All right, given the testimony of Ms. Avery, I'll do the same thing as I did in the prior case and just reset this to the next hearing, and hopefully we can accomplish something with the certified mailing. In case 2025-007, I'll withhold doing anything other than reset this matter to May 6th violation hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor. The next one, I believe, is the same issue, case number 2025-008. The respondent is Jean Lewis Lee. This is a parking citation, and I believe it came back undeliverable.
Not undeliverable, it just said was not retrieved,
Not retrieved, not claimed.
not claimed. So they probably was at the mail, post office and never went to go pick it up.
And this one is the same, you don't have a signature from the violator, it was just left on the vehicle. So you asking for the same thing, reset it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, in case 2025-008, I'll withhold doing anything other than reset this matter to May 6, 2025 for violation hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, that takes us to case number 7, case number 2025-016. This respondent has paid the violation, so we're gonna accept payment. He just paid it. He thought it was a county court citation. I just went to the county court, but just came and paid, so we'll accept payment for that one.
So you're requesting it be pulled? Or are you?
Just removed from the agenda because he
Okay.
did pay it.
Yep, okay.
That takes us to case number 9. This is a case 2025-018. Respondent is Grace Jan Zimsek. This is a violation of having an animal dog on the beach. And the citation was issued by Officer Pylon. And this one is a signed citation.
So just, this is the same video that the gentleman earlier came in, and or the questions about his property. This was the gentleman that was with him that had walked down the beach and met him down there.
Okay.
So he was also cited. Actually, here we can see. That's it.
Yeah, you're right, but that's not bad.
And I guess, can you back it up to the point where they're, or I guess,
On the beach.
yeah, something to prove the violation of the dog.
Yep, see, this is down by the water. He had just, and FI, the gentleman, this in particular gentleman had a confrontation with I guess, one of our commissioners, and he actually called the violation in, so, so I was notified of them from being out there about the dog on the beach.
And so which one is he, the current case? Is he the one on the left or the right?
He's the one on the left, so the larger mountain dog.
And you observed him holding a leash of a dog?
Yes, no, he's in
Okay.
possession of the dog. I'll get it closer to you. This is him right there, coming off the beach.
Okay.
And he had walked from north-south along the beach.
Okay. Okay, and the case file has a signed citation. So is the town seeking the $100 fine plus your administrative costs?
I believe this is the first violation,
Yeah, this is
so
the
we're
first
looking for the $40 fine plus court costs of $164, which would take the total cost of $204.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was on the wrong one. Let me get to the right. Let's see. There we go. So the citation says $25, is that correct?
Oh, I'm sorry. Then that would be correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, and that's the signature of this gentleman whose name I'm not even going to try to pronounce. Okay. And for the record, the respondent is not present?
That's correct.
Okay. All right, anything further?
No.
No, Your Honor.
All right, in case 2025-018, I'll enter the town's evidentiary case file, which includes the video from February 28th, 2025. That's correct, right? That's 2/28/25's video? The date on there is correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and that's a body camera video?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'll admit as composite exhibit 1, the paper file, electronic paper file, as well as the body camera video from February 28th, 2025. I'll find, based on the respondent having signed the citation, that the town had good service for today's hearing, as well as the certified mail having been sent by the town. I'll find, based on the video, as well as the testimony of Officer Pylon, that the respondent is in violation of section 62-28 for the dog on the beach. This is a first offense. I will assess the $25 fine for that first offense, and because I've found respondent in violation, I'll award the town its administrative costs for today's hearing in the amount of $164. Okay. All right, next one.
This is case number 2025-002. It's case number 10 on today's agenda. The respondents are Robert and Deborah Calgagno. The property address is 5819 North Ocean Boulevard, Unit A1 in the town of Ocean Ridge. Your Honor, this is a case regarding work without a permit. We have the town clerk to testify to service, and I believe our code enforcement officer, Mr. Sheehan, also is involved in this case.
Okay, Mr. Sheehan had gone out, was doing normal routine checks. I guess he ran across this one, went on, was invited by the violators to come to the property and see what was going on. And he was able to take pictures and told them they needed to stop because they needed to get a building permit. They continued on, finished the job. So we went ahead and issued a notice of violation, which was posted there. I know they received it because they did call me on it later. But we did send it also certified.
And what date did you do that?
That was,
And what date was it posted?
it was sent out, February 1st and posted February 1st. Sorry, February 1st.
Okay. And your certified mail is still in transit somewhere? You didn't get a green card back?
I actually got the envelope back.
Unsigned though?
Unsigned.
Okay, deliverable. Okay. All right, you want to come testify, Dr.
Yes.
Officer?
Hi again.
So what's going on there?
So that's a good picture right there. If you could stay on that picture right there. I was coming on that's Old Ocean right there where the little arrow is, and that person is walking, that's Old Ocean.
Mhm.
I was coming from the south, which is the direction coming toward from the background coming toward the picture of the blue tarp. So as I was proceeding, I was driving very slow because there's a lot of people walking on that road every day.
Mhm.
And then I just look and I'm just keeping my eyes open for anything. And as I was coming up to right about where that person is standing, it's very obvious. It was very, it stood out like a sore thumb because that elevation of that ground right there is higher than the road. So when I was coming from the south, looking at the north, that stood out like a sore thumb on that little hilltop of grass.
Okay.
So what I see there, I parked the car on Old Ocean. I'm not on the property yet. I parked the car and look right where those hedges are. And the head maintenance guy of the whole property said, "Hey, yeah, we're fixing irrigation. Come on in." And then he invited me in and looked. It's even though it's all common area there, that's because those are like townhouses or condos or whatever. So then you can see people walking on Old Ocean. So then he invited me in and we went on he took me on the elevator. He's like, "Yeah, we're just fixing irrigation." So he took me on the elevator, took me up, brought me back, invited me back, said it was no big deal. I saw rebar, I saw 2x4s, and then when he took me up to the actual patio, he lifted the plywood. You can see it in the pictures. He's in one of the pictures, he's trying to lift the plywood up. That hole right there is about 4 to 5 feet deep, right off the main patio of the house. And there's 5 or 6 people can jump in that hole. So that you can see right there that all that plywood is covering that huge hole. And then that white background, that's the sliding glass doors to their townhouse or condo or whatever you want to call it. To me, that's major structural work. You know, just to pour a slab, a 4-inch patio slab, you have to get a permit. Mm-hmm. These people ripped up the whole patio, went 4 to 5 feet deep in that hole to fix an irrigation problem, rebar, concrete block everywhere, dirt everywhere, and there was no permit. They said they didn't need a permit. So I contacted the town clerk. We talked it over, and obviously it was in our opinion, to write them up for work without permit.
Okay, and there's no permit on file, no application submitted, nothing? Okay. Okay. Any communication? I presume you were talking to contractors or somebody working?
No contractors. That guy is just a maintenance guy. And
Just a
then
but
the
you didn't
homeowner-
see the property owner?
The homeowner, from that picture right there, to the left, he finally came out and he was down onto the pavement,
Mhm.
which is down about from where we're standing, because we had to ride the elevator up. So he's down on the pavement at the exit of the townhouse, exclaiming to me that he's a GC in 4 states, that he didn't need a permit for what they were doing. So he came out and he went from, he was just trying to explain to me that what they're doing is no big deal and that they don't need a permit. And he did stuff like this all the time in the past in other states or whatever. I couldn't believe it, because it was a really big hole. Rebar was all over the place. There was block, there was chipped up concrete, and there was a hole there. And it wasn't taped off or anything. There was no trespassing sign, no fence, no nothing. It was just, it was, in my mind, ridiculous.
Okay. All right, what's the town seeking?
Your Honor, I think we would need to give them 30 days to obtain the permit, and feeling that fine of $250 per day for work without a permit. And court cost of $173.96. And entering into the record the town's evidence that's been presented today.
Okay. And for the record, the respondent is not present. All right, anything further from the town?
No, Your Honor.
All right, in case 2025-002, I'll enter the town's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find, based on the notice documents, which include an affidavit of posting, that the town had good service for this morning's hearing. I find, based on the photographs in the case file, as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer, that the respondent's in violation of section 6751 and 105.1 for the work to the patio that was done without the required permits. I'll require respondent to comply within 30 days, or a $250 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violation continues thereafter. And because I found respondent in violation of the town's code, I assess the administrative cost for today's hearing in the amount of $173.96, payable within 30 days. All right, next case.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, the next case is number 11 on today's agenda. This is case number 2025-010. We are going to dismiss this one and recite it. It was the wrong citation, or wrong code provision that was cited for. So that will come back before you in a different case.
All right, for the record, I'll note that that's being pulled from the agenda.
The next case, number 12, is case number 2025-013. This respondent is Phyllis Sicca and Harry Sicca as the trustees. Property address is 19 Tropical Drive within the town of Ocean Ridge. This is a violation of work without permits dealing with the driveway. With the town clerk here to testify as to service, and I believe Mr. Sheehan was involved in this one as well.
This one was actually brought to our attention by, I believe staff have seen this in daily work out in the community. Mr. Sheehan went over there to go check it out, spoke with them, explained to them they needed a permit. for this, and then he came back and told me they were doing the work, so we issued them a notice of violation. And this is even after they had tried to submit a permit. It was denied based on what they had submitted, but they continued anyways. So this is when we issued a notice of violation for them to come.
And you sent that certified mail
Correct.
on,
It was on the same day with March 11th.
and there's a posting affidavit.
I don't have the pictures in there, but it was posted on the same day.
And did you get a signed green card?
That one, no, I did not. I've got nothing to comment.
Not having very good luck with your certified mails for today's hearing.
No. I think one of them I came back, or I got.
You're not the only one having trouble with those, I'll tell you. All right, Mr. Shaden, are you gonna testify?
Yes.
Hello again.
All right, go ahead, sir. What's the, I guess explain to me the violation. And were you the one who posted the notice?
Yeah, yes. It took me a second because it's been busy. I got a notification that work was being done on 19 Tropical, and I rolled up, and basically this is what I saw. I already did my due diligence before I pulled up and knew that they did apply for a permit, but it was denied. I don't remember the reason why it was denied, but I do remember it was denied. So
Okay.
they shouldn't, in my mind, they shouldn't have been there. So I rolled up. They basically had the right-of-way part of the driveway still tore up, as you can see there in the picture. They were dealing with the drain and cutting specifically for around that drain because they were having problems. The super on the job told me that they built that house and that they were there fixing it, and because that they built that house, that they should be able to work on it with no permit. That's what he tried to explain to me, the super. I said that's neither here nor there, whoever built the house. But as you can see there, his knees are in the street, they're working on the right of way. That part of the driveway is the right of way of the town. And they had it all ripped up. They had some other work going on around the house. And they had part of the right of way blocked off with material and cones with no permit. So with discussion with the town and the building department, it was to our best belief to write them up for notice of violation with no permit.
And what's the extent of work around, aside from the driveway, what was the other work that you observed?
Well, I wasn't invited on to the rest of the property, but there was, he said that there was minor stucco work. So I don't know because I wasn't invited to walk into the back and I wasn't gonna force myself into the back. But there was a crew of 3 to 4 people there working other than that one person in the driveway. So there was some other things. Repairs was the word he kept using.
All right, but you didn't see those, so
No, I
for the
didn't see
purposes of
those.
today, it's just the driveway work.
Yeah, I was concerned with that, yes,
Okay.
Your Honor.
Okay. All right, what's the town seeking today?
Your Honor, in this case, the town would be seeking to give them 30 days to come into compliance, failing which, fine of $250 per day thereafter. And the town is seeking its court costs, which are $173.64. And we offer the evidence that's been presented to you to be incorporated into the record.
Okay. Okay, in case 2025-014, I'll enter the town's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. For the record, is the respondent present? Seeing none, the order will reflect the respondent is not present. I find based on the affidavit of posting in the case file that the town had good service for today's hearing. I find based on the testimony of the code enforcement officer as well as the photographs in the case file that the respondent's in violation of section 67-51 and 105.1 of the Florida Building Code. I'll require a respondent to comply with those sections within 30 days or a $250 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violation continues thereafter. And because I found respondents in violation, I'll assess the administrative cost for today's hearing in the amount of $173.64. And I did my usual buzz right over the minute approval, so my apologies for that. I'll approve the minutes from February 4th hearing. I did read those. Substantively, they're fine. I would just note that there was one misspelling of the code officer's name you may want to correct, but otherwise the substance is fine. So I'll approve those minutes, and my apologies again for skipping over them. I don't see anything further on the agenda, nothing further?
That's it, Your Honor.
All right, with that, I'll adjourn the hearing at 11:32.
Thank you.
Thank you.